This video is for business leaders who want to make the most of their company and employees' potential by using positive social conformity to maximize everyone's potential, opportunities, and success by leading by example. So was it your mother, father, or both who warned you not to hang out with the wrong kind of kids? No matter who it was, they were right. At least that's what the research shows. Watch to the end for a bonus material, on creating a culture of positive social conformity in your company, and a recommended video on fostering exceptional talent throughout your company. I'm still on my own path, trying to meet and build the right relationships with people and communities that can help me make myself better and the community make the community better also. And it's more of a challenge because I live so far from a lot of these communities, living in Japan. But with the technology we have these days, it is easier than it has ever been in history, no matter where you live. So words like conformity and habits typically have negative connotations or negative associations, which is really a shame because they're amoral. They have no moral polarity. There are good habits and bad habits. There is good conformity and bad conformity. But those words tend to be cast in a negative light, which is unfortunate. So to make positive change, really what this comes down to in terms of what we mean is to make positive change, hang with winners, hang out with winners. And right, if everybody around you is doing things in a way that is making them successful and happy and fulfilled and having a meaningful life and career, then being around those people will influence us in a positive way to sort of raise our game. Better yet, we can raise each other's game. So one of the things you can do as an individual, as the business leader, but also as an individual, is mindfully seek out and build relationships with those who can make you an ever better version of yourself, and minimize time with those who lack what you want to become, even those who are friends and family. Now, I know that's a sensitive issue, but it's true that though we can't choose our family, we can usually choose our friends. And even in the case of family, it makes sense for both you and them to minimize your time with people who are having a negative impact on the quality of your life and the quality of who you are. Consider that very carefully. This doesn't mean you exclude them in terms of friends or family, though. I would say honestly, get less of what's not working for you and for them as well. So under the umbrella of positive conformity, I'm going to talk today about 4 rules that come from 4 of Dr. Robert Cialdini's 7 levers of influence. So each of these levers of influence is a method of influencing the behavior of others and ourselves in either positive or negative ways, depending on how they're applied. And he just happens to call them levers of influence. So the first of these that can be used to help generate positive conformity in your company and a positive company culture is social proof, which is that we tend to behave as others in our group do, especially when we're challenged or uncertain of what to do. That is, in a situation where it's ambiguous, what is the right way to behave or what is the right thing to do? Those who act first, who are then by default leaders, tend to be what other people follow. So social proof is we follow. It's also, celebrity endorsements, do what the cool kids do, or do what the successful kids do, the successful people do. That's essentially what social proof is. And proof of success. You have status because a group of people look up to you or respect how you do things. So as a leader, the more you behave as you want others to, the more they will tend to do the same. In that case, that is you demonstrating or becoming the social leader, not just the authoritative leader, but the social leader. They see what you do in those situations, they're more likely to follow that. And if you don't want them to follow that, you probably shouldn't be doing it. So then the next one is loss aversion. And this is the fact that, as Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky talked about in Thinking Fast and Slow, that we hate losing things about twice as much as we like gaining them. That is, losing $100 is as aversive as gaining $200 is positive. And that's also true in terms of gaining or losing respect, the appreciation and the trust of our peers, at least in a positive workplace or in a positive community. It matters because they matter to you. Their opinion of you matters. Now, people say, oh, who cares what other people think? Well, sometimes yes, and sometimes no. In a positive community, you have good reason to be concerned and to want to live up to the positive expectations that said community puts on you. And you should be concerned about losing credibility with people who matter to you. So building a positive culture of success where nobody wants to let their team down taps into this idea of loss aversion. The next one is commitment and consistency, and it is best put into we do as we say and we say as we do. So again, as a leader, this isn't social proof, but it seems kind of like it, in that if our words are words, that is our claims about our beliefs, and our actions are not aligned, we're going to be perceived, probably rightly so, as a hypocrite. And most people, when one of those three things, your words, your beliefs, or your deeds, do not align, you oftentimes will change the one that is out of alignment with the other two to align. So it's like, well, I'm going to quit smoking. And then people go, well, I thought you were trying to quit smoking, and here you're outside having a cigarette. To get rid of the, of course, I can't think of the word. I don't know why I get stuck on this one. Cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of that misalignment between these three things. You will either say, well, I've decided to quitting smoking, I'm going to keep smoking, or you stop smoking. That is, get all those three things in alignment, as an example of a negative one. But the same could be true for, I thought you were going to exercise more. What are you doing, not exercising this week? Same kind of idea. Either, okay, I'm going to quit exercising, or start exercising so that your words, your beliefs, and your behaviors match. So commitment this is especially critical that you do this as a leader, because you are who you are, and people will follow, especially with the social proof, follow what you do. And if you're telling them, do as I say, not as I do, it doesn't just piss them off. It actually is counterproductive. And now you're working against human social dynamics. So now you're fighting an uphill battle of trying to get them to do the opposite of what you think you should be able to do, and they should do the opposite. Okay, so as a leader, demonstrating ideal behavior, the ideal behavior you want from everyone else, and more to the point, being the best at it, not just being good at it, ideally striving to be the best at it. Now, this isn't about being perfect. It's not about burning yourself out or dominating your life with doing that. It's about striving to be the best version of what you want others to be, to the best of your ability. And everybody gets that you're human, even if you pretend that they don't, or they pretend that you aren't. This probably can and should include, when necessary and appropriate, being vulnerable and asking for help, as you'd want others to do when they need help or are vulnerable, and make that part of your positive workplace culture. Now, exactly how that manifests in your company is entirely up to you, as is all of this. Whatever it is you want them whatever it is you want them to be, you want others in your company to be, starts with what and how you do the same things. If it isn't in alignment, you're already fighting that uphill battle. And the last lever of influence is called unity. And this is sort of an extreme version in a sense of compliance or conformity. But again, it has no moral polarity whatsoever. So this is when you have a group activity where one particular activity where people are moving or acting in unison. So for whatever reason, it felt like the bucket brigade. Somebody hands you a bucket, you pass it to the next person. The coordination of the movement is an example of unity, moving together, moving in a similar way, but timing and everything else. That would be a powerful unity building activity, which helps cohere the group and make the group feel closer and part of something bigger than themselves. Now, another example of this would be soldiers marching, and that's one of the reasons that many militaries do that. It isn't just to practice marching, it's because of the relationship and the bond it develops between people and their desire to work together and support one another. But it can also be a team working or doing different things. This is the thing about this new lever. It's only in his newest book, of his updated version of the book Influence that he wrote. Fantastic book. I highly recommend it. And it can also be a team working together, doing different tasks, but to accomplish a unified goal. So this could be, to go to the classic example, a barn raising. Or this could just be to accomplish a common goal, and I think should be for you to achieve a common unified goal where everybody not only bought into, but helped define the goal of what the company's bigger mission is. Mission or vision, whichever word you want to use. So the more you create a culture of positive conformity, which is not control. Conformity, as I mean it, is about people striving to be their best selves for everyone's benefit. So thank you for watching this far. We're on to the bonus content, and this is also by Jim Collins. Some of the stuff I said before was a reference to him, though not mentioned by name. And Jim Collins said, building a great company culture, this is paraphrased, starts with who, not what, and not why. That starts with getting, now this is a quote, this starts with getting the right people on the bus. And then my own part of this is, from that point, you get the right people on the bus. That is, you hire the right people for your team or your company, then training and enculturating them right. And I'm sorry, but most companies do this very badly and think you just say, hey, you know how to do this, teach them how to do it. And you call that training. That isn't training. And it also means getting the wrong people off of the bus. Now, my favorite rule for this is very simple. It's from 𝗙gie-𝗀𝗏, one of the co-authors of the excellent book, Scaling Up Excellence, and that is no assholes. He calls it the no asshole rule. They should be fired, that is, assholes should be fired no matter what position they hold if they don't reform when given their chance, their opportunity, their last chance, maybe one chance, maybe two, to sort of quit being difficult, quit working against the just general positivity of the workplace or against other people. Then you go, okay, we let you know, we told you what you needed to do, which way you needed to positively conform, and you didn't, so there's the door. And that should apply to everybody. In fact, I would say including yourself. You can be the owner, you don't have to be the CEO. If you are an asshole, maybe you shouldn't be running the company. Maybe you should own the company and let somebody who can be more positive run the company. You'll actually see more success, and Jim Collins has repeatedly demonstrated this in much of his work, as well as Robert Sutton and 𝗙gie-𝗀𝗏, the authors that I mentioned of Scaling Up Excellence. So that's it. The recommended video for today is how to foster exceptional talent. I will put a link right there and in the description. So please share this video with anyone who wants to create positive change in their company or life. Thanks. This has been Crush It Club 260, change through positive conformity, or change through conformity. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.